Jones steps up. Ricketts is at the high point. Jones. Orolatario has a lane. Nicholas Orolatario, the shot. Scores! Holy jumping! The Italian stallion puts the puck in the back of the net. Mamma mia, Nicholas Orolatario! To keep it in and does. Callum Jones for Potts. At the blue line, kept in by the skate of Thomas Maya. Maya. Down low on the half course, he swings out in the slot for Potts. Kyle Potts has it, hangs on, now he shoots, scores! Holy jumping! How do you do? Kyle Potts puts the puck in the back of the net. Blades block that shot, and coming the other way is Alton McDermott. He's in on the breakaway, scores! Holy jumping! His grandfather, Paul Henderson, must be ecstatic about that one because Alton McDermott just scored his first career Buckland Cup final playoff goal. Has been pulled. The Dukes are in the Oakville zone. Zone Selvins swung that around. The Blades are trying to tie this puck up. It goes into the corner. The Blades have a chance to get this out. Lions will tie it up. 10 seconds. Gilmore has it at the point. It's in. 6. Just wide. 7 seconds. It's back in the corner. Ewing's back in. 3, 2, 1. The Oakville Blades. Holy jumping. Blades win. Blades win. Blades win. The Oakville Blades are Buckland Cup champions.
You're watching Mamma Mia! This is Fire Talk with Nicholas Fiore.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode number 29 of Mamma Mia. This is Fire Talk. I'm joined by Guelph Storm forward in the Ontario Hockey League, Eric Yuba. Eric, thanks for joining, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Obviously, former Oakville Blade, that's where we got to meet, and I was with you one preseason game there when you were with the Flint Firebirds in Buffalo. So it's great to see you're gradually moving up, but first of all, we'll get all into that. How are you, the family, during COVID?
Yeah, I've been good, hanging in there, trying to keep as busy as I can with no hockey. Trying to get as much university classes done and stay sharp on the ice and working out at home for the time being during lockdown.
Absolutely. And there must be a lot of working out at home, isn't there? Because there's no season as of yet. Anyways, there's no official word if there's going to be one. But there must be tons of working out at home, isn't there?
Yeah, I try to keep in shape. Obviously, you're limited to what you have at home compared to the gym. But I think just putting in the time during the day, continuously getting bad news about the season and COVID, you got to stay positive. And I think just keeping up in shape's a big thing for me.
Absolutely.
Dealing with COVID.
Absolutely. And what's the word? I mean, as we sit here in January 2021, has there been any update that you've been hearing with the OHL having a season or not?
Other than they postponed it the other week and haven't set a date yet for it, that's been about it. I'm hopeful they can kind of set a date after lockdown, maybe mid-February, March would be nice, but we'll keep posted.
Is there skepticism that there may not be a season?
It's tough. Like, obviously, all the bad news, it's easy to get negative and easy to kind of get negative and kind of think there's not going to be a season. But I know the owners and coaches, and they're all working hard to kind of give us something and allow us to play some games. So hopefully in the near future we can do that.
Absolutely. Let's get into some stats, Eric. You started obviously your juniors in Junior C, believe it or not, in the 16-17 season with the AYR Centennials, PJ, CHL, ripping it up there. 40 games, 62 points, 16 games as well in the playoffs, 12 points. But then you jumped right away. You skipped Junior B. You're like, nope, we're not going there. And you jumped to Junior A with the Wellington Dukes, a pretty good storied franchise in the OJHL. 39 games, 22 points, and then traded to the Oakville Blades before obviously doing some stint games in Flint before going full-time in the O. But talk about the jump from junior C to junior A, from one year simply to the next? Was it hard? Was it difficult? And obviously, it definitely must have been different.
Yeah. So I played that year in junior C in Air, and I loved it. There was nothing but good things to say about that organization. I think it definitely helped me as a hockey player. And then that summer, I had in mind that I'd make Flint that year, and obviously I worked towards that, and I didn't get there. So I kind of looked for the next best option, and that was playing in the OJ. So I started in Wellington there, and I think for me personally, I felt like I deserved to make Flint that year, and I had a good camp, and I thought I would have made the team, but obviously that didn't happen right away. So I kind of went to Wellington with a chip on my shoulder and kind of put my head down and kept working. And I think that year in junior A definitely helped me develop, and obviously gave me more opportunities than I would have had I played in the OHL. I think ice time and stuff like that, I definitely got more in the OJ. So that definitely helped me develop and made for a pretty seamless transition in my first year in the OHL.
I was just going to say, sometimes, buddy, it could be a blessing in disguise, couldn't it? To maybe not make the O right away, get your playing time, get your points, get your confidence up in the OJHL, and then crack a OHL roster, couldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely, for younger players that are deciding if they should play in the OHL or kind of continue developing in the OJ or junior B, I think you got to think about playing time and the opportunities you get, because if you're a 16-year-old playing in the OHL, you're going to be playing half the games and getting 10 minutes of ice time maybe. So obviously you got to take that into consideration, because you're not going to be better off playing that when you can be playing a big role for a junior B or OJ team and then go on to the OHL.
Absolutely. And then obviously traded to the Oakville Blades, where we met. You had 12 games, 12 points, got 4 points in the playoffs. Obviously, we didn't want the season to end the way it did. A tough game 7 against the Patriots there, but it did. But what would you say, I guess Wellington or Oakville in general, let's talk about the being traded first. Is it weird being traded, or how is it in any level? I'm sure it's different, but for you personally, was it any weird in any transition?
Obviously, just stepping into a new room is going to be different. You lose your old teammates and then you meet new ones. So obviously that's a bit of a transition, and kind of meeting everyone and getting comfortable with a new team's different. But I think it's part of hockey and it's part of life, meeting new people. So you just got to live with it and make the best of it.
Absolutely. It's almost like starting a new grade in a new school. Right?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You're meeting new people. Did you know, I don't know if I asked you before, I might have, when you were with the Blaze, did you know anyone on the Oakville team coming to Oakville from Wellington?
Yeah, I knew Spencer Kirsten pretty well. I played minor hockey against him all the way up and some spring hockey, so I knew him probably the best on the team. And then Andrew McIntyre, he was from Kitchener and a year older than me, so I was familiar with him, but I think I knew Kirsten the most.
There you go.
So which made it easier going into a new team for sure.
Yeah, honestly, I was just going to say, even if it's just one guy, right? You know, one guy, it obviously it's a smoother transition and you just get more comfortable right away. Obviously, the time with the Blades, because we were both there, I'm still there, but with the Oakville Blades, how would you summarize your time with them?
I really enjoyed my time with them. I think they put a big emphasis on skill development, and in practices, they put a lot of emphasis on skill and that big ice at 16-mile Olympic size. So you definitely get a good workout in, good skate. So that definitely helped. And the facilities there are great. That's a phenomenal rink to play in and practice in. And then the coaching staff as well, they really helped me and they were really welcoming, and I really enjoyed my experience with Oakville.
Absolutely. We're lucky to have you, buddy. We're lucky to have you. But moving, on to OHL a little bit more. You obviously played a few games with Flint during your time with Oakville and Wellington, of course. 4 games, picked up your first point in those 4 games as an assist. Was it difficult getting called up to Flint, then coming back to the OJ and so on and so forth, even though it was only 4 games?
Not really. I'd say I expected that. I thought I went there over Christmas break and went on a road trip with the team, so it was just a good experience before heading into a full season, just knowing what to expect and how to practice and how to, building habits and playing games. So that definitely helped going into my first full year.
What were you looking to show them those 4 games? It's cliche as give everything you got every time you're on the ice. You don't know who's watching, but was it as simple as that? Because obviously you then made the Flint Firebirds full-time the next season after?
Yeah, I think how I'm a successful hockey player is my hockey sense, and also my responsibility in the O zone and D zone. I think I'm a very smart player, and I also have some pretty good offensive instincts, and I'm able to put the puck in the net and find my teammates. So I think showing that to the coaching staff there was important for me, and I think I had a good showing in those 4 games.
Absolutely. And, you obviously then moved on to Flint permanently in the 2018-2019 season after playing with Oakville in the OJ. 67 games, 19, 23, 42 points. That's pretty damn good if I don't say so myself, right? 42 points in your first full season in the OHL. Was that going on the right decision that we spoke about a few moments ago on maybe not going so early into the OHL, playing in Junior A, and then obviously having a pretty successful first year?
Yeah, I mean, with how my junior career's gone so far, I think I've gotten better every year, and I think playing at those different junior levels definitely didn't stop me from getting better. I think it helped, and obviously when I made my first year in the OHL, that was my NHL draft year, so I didn't expect to get drafted, but obviously I wanted to make a case for myself, and I felt I did that and had a strong showing. I think, the last month in the season, I remember I got pretty burnt out, and I think that stopped my NHL draft hopes, but I can't complain with how that year went. I mean, I'm happy with it all in all.
Absolutely. And then obviously moving on to the Flint Firebirds. If I'm not mistaken, you were traded to the Guelph Storm, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you were traded to the Guelph Storm, was that something you wanted, or the team approached you with it?
Yeah, it was something I wanted. I think I wanted a change of scenery, and obviously Flint last year, they were a very competitive team and we're going to make a long playoff run. And I think I still had stuff to prove as myself as a player. So I think going to Guelph, they were coming off a OHL championship and they were kind of retooling. And I thought I saw myself having a much bigger role in Guelph. And I think I fulfilled that, and I'm happy with playing in Guelph and living in Guelph.
Well, absolutely. And you did play, looks like more, and you got a lot more points because you got 16 more points, right? Eric, 58 points in 63 games, 29 and 29 goals and assists in the 2019-2020 campaign with the Guelph Storm. I mean, 134 games, 101 points overall in the OHL, with OJHL totals even 34 points in 51 games. Did you kind of find a home, you think, in Guelph? And that's how you just kind of bursted into 58 points in 63 games with Guelph?
Yeah, for sure. I felt like I was really comfortable playing in Guelph, and the city and the arena and the facilities, the coaches, everything just felt right, and my teammates as well. Like everything just felt right, and that's a place where I felt like I could succeed the most. And I think I have nothing but good things to say about playing in Guelph and couldn't recommend it enough.
Absolutely. Moving, to the OHL, do you think maybe just not the team specifically, but the OJHL experience did enough and prepared you for the OHL?
Yeah, for sure. The OJ is definitely, my year in the OJ, I was looking at college options, and I felt when I got presented with an OHL deal, I felt like taking that. And I think my mind's always been on making the OHL. So I jumped at that opportunity. But yeah, for sure, the OJ is a very competitive league. It's very skilled. It's very fast, and it's a really good hockey league. Like probably one of the next best to the OJ or the OHL. So for sure, that helps prepare me for the OHL.
I think you kind of just answered my next question. I was going to ask, what's the difference between Junior A, OJHL to the OHL? Is it simply OHL has more speed, more physicality, or what is the main difference you saw?
Just like, I'd say, yeah, the OHL's definitely got like another level of speed and skill and top tier guys, like any NHL first rounders. Like you're not going to find that in the OJ, but yeah, the OHL, I think, playing 68 games, going Northern Ontario, going on all these road trips, long bus rides. Like you really have to take care of your body and if you don't, you're going to get burnt out, you're going to get injured. And so definitely just the mental and physical grind of the OHL is probably the biggest difference.
I know you're from Kitchener, if I'm not mistaken, correct? And
Yeah.
You obviously moved back home, I guess could say, when you were playing in Flint, obviously, to Guelph. Was that another little aspect saying I could maybe possibly stay at home and play major junior as well?
Yeah, so when I billeted in Guelph, I lived with the billet family.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, even it's like a 25-minute drive for my parents to come to games. So
there you go.
They loved that part. They were at every home game, so that was definitely a really good thing for my parents and family. So that was just another aspect that made Guelph so good to play in for me.
For billeting, Eric, I think it's a very, very important and big deal in junior hockey in general. How important is it to have such a good billet family that supports everything you're doing as well?
Yeah, for sure. Like they're my billets in Guelph, they're like a second family to me. I always visit them. They have 3 young kids that I always go and see and hang around with when I'm living there. So we definitely have quite the bond over the last year, and even through the summer I was visiting them. So yeah, it's definitely like a second family for you, and living away from home can be difficult. So having a good billet family makes that transition so much easier.
Absolutely. And obviously now you're 20 years old. The 2020-2021 campaign, hopefully it gets going soon. Was this going to be your last year? Or you still got one or two more years left in the OHL eligibility wise?
This is my OA year, so hopefully we can play.
So have you heard on if they're going to reserve and save that eligibility if it's your last year in junior, or no, you're just gonna, it's a move on type of thing?
I think it's just a move on thing. I don't think they will let 21-year-olds play. I think so. Hopefully I can get another shot at it.
Absolutely. And so that means, I guess after OHL, is there anything that you want to do in work, in school, or continue hockey?
Yeah, I think finishing off last year, I had a good year, and I think going into this year, I felt like I had more to prove, and I think this would have been a really good year for me to kind of further, push towards a pro contract. And I think I still got lots more to prove in hockey, and I think obviously had it been a regular year, I think I would have given myself a really good shot at earning a pro contract. But I mean, we'll see how things play out. I think I'm capable of earning a pro deal, but if not, I'll look towards going to university and playing hockey there.
And remember, from university or playing hockey there, you can always get a pro deal anywhere, but even in Europe as well. So there's definitely avenues for yourself to get to the next level. I'm sure you'll push away with your work ethic and pull through. Listen, Eric, I appreciate you coming on this episode with me, and best of luck moving forward.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
Absolutely, everyone. That's Eric Yuba for the Guelph Storm in the OHL. This was episode number 29 of Mamma Mia! This is Fire Talk. On behalf of Eric and myself, I'm Nicholas Fiore, the broadcast voice of the Oakville Blades. Thank you, and Mamma Mia! Now Davis takes it and looks to come the other way. Davis is in, trying to drive, and he will look to go across. Good play to Davis, though, to get it right back to him. He goes down low to Israels. Centering, it's there. Score! Stevie! Steven Whittle scores his first OJHL playoff goal for the Oakville Blades. This game is opening up in a big way for both teams. Ricketts centering, what a pass, Israel's breakaway, the move, scores! What a goal for the Alaska Fairbanks commit, the assistant captain, Harrison Israels, with an absolute dandy. Down low to Lyons, Jack Lyons centering, scores! The double jacks combine as that puck popped up like a jack in a box, and it's Jack Ricketts from Jack Lyons. 6-1 on the 40th shot of the game. It's all Oakville.
Colette Smith hits it in. A chance here can develop, but the Blades will look to take it. And Ricketts finds Israels. Breakaway, Israels. A chance, backhand. Rebound. Scores! And the Oakville Blades win it here in Toronto. Blades win, Blades win, Blades win!
That was Mamma Mia! This is Fire Talk with Nicholas Fiore. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next episode.